Hi, my name is Micah. I'm a spiritual counselor, and in this video we're going to talk a little bit about the inner child and how to work with your inner child in a meaningful way where you understand what's actually happening on the inside. So when I went through my healing process, my big chunk of my healing journey, when I had my spiritual awakening in 2009, I started intuitively doing inner child work, and I didn't know that that's what I was doing. I just started to naturally do these exercises that felt healing to me. And one aspect of that was feeling this part of myself, this like small child that was wounded, that I knew needed my attention. And so in my visualizations, I would often bring him in. I'd have specific memories when I was a kid where I felt really abandoned or alone or rejected. And that stayed with me my whole life. And I didn't really recognize it until I went through that healing process and started to notice there was this part of me that was really needing some attention. So when I would go into these healing visualizations, I would imagine this little version of myself, small little helpless self, maybe 10 years old or 5 years old. I have a few different memories that I would work with. And I would connect with that part of myself using the image of the memory that represents that damaged or wounded part of my psyche. And I would connect. And always the feeling from that little part of myself was fear and pain and sadness. And so what you see commonly happening with people is they have these core wounds. Something happened when they were younger that they felt left alone, they felt abandoned or rejected, and they hold on to it. Part of the brain, the limbic system, the hypothalamus, they record these moments where you felt that deep, deep pain, and some part of your psyche then develops a belief that life is not safe, that you are not safe just to be yourself, your natural, loving self. And so something shuts off inside of you. There's these walls that are put up around your heart. So very useful then to go back and find those moments. And again, the moments are just symbols. It's like symbolically represent this part of your psyche that's still wounded now. And you're using those images to bring healing, loving energy back to that moment to help repair the wound, to soothe the fear. And by doing that, something shifts in your psyche where you feel this part of yourself that had been cast out, that had been pushed away, coming back into you. It's like a remembering or reunification of parts of your soul. This work's also been called soul retrieval. So I don't see much of a distinction between soul retrieval and inner child work. I think they often stem from the same kind of early childhood traumas. So the process is relatively simple. You review your history, your memory, and you find those moments where you felt hurt. And you hold them in your mind, in your awareness, and connect with that part of you. And like a mother or father with a small child, you hold yourself, you get down on the level of the child. And the way that I've done it myself and with clients is you offer healing words and feelings to the child. You open your heart up and you feel love and compassion for this part of yourself. It seems so simple and so intuitive, but there's usually a lot of resistance. And I think the reason is because when the child has those traumatic events early on in life, the undercurrent of belief that starts to form is that you're not good enough. Something must be wrong with you that you deserve to have that kind of painful experience inflicted on you. And so there's this part of each one of us that feels like something must be wrong with me, that I don't deserve love in this moment. I don't deserve to feel good, to feel happy. Something must be deeply flawed about me, just inherently wrong about me. And we carry that forward into our relationships, into our work experiences, always feeling like something must be wrong. Because some moment long time ago, you felt alone, abandoned, and hurt, and you interpreted that as Something's wrong with me. So you're literally going back in your mind with these memories and telling this part of yourself, nothing's wrong with you. I love you. I'm here for you. I'm never going to leave you alone again. And generally there's some tears and you feel like a lot of emotion. And that's the purpose of this, is to access the emotion of love and compassion for yourself. And by doing that, you release the belief, you release that fragmented part of the fragmented like wall up that you have between yourself and another part of yourself. So you're bringing it all back into yourself. And usually the exercise can end with you actually like embracing your child self, bringing him into your heart or her into your heart, and feeling that reunification of yourself. It's a beautiful process. It's so gentle and tender and vulnerable, and it's an opportunity to basically say to yourself, nothing's wrong with you, nothing's wrong with me. I am okay, I'm enough as I am. And those are great words to use in the practice, in the exercise. So this is something that anybody can do, and when I was going through this process, I was doing it intuitively. Every few days I'd go into these kinds of visualizations for 10, 15, 20 minutes at a time, usually be crying through it, sometimes no tears. But the important piece is to feel the reconnection and to feel the release. There's usually like a sense of release and relief that happens.